Hello, everyone. We are the Green Campus Initiative, a student group from Florida International University that is focused on making our campus a more sustainable institution. This year, we have decided to focus on the issues of single-use plastics. Our university has turned a blind eye to the problems single-use plastics impose on our community's health, economy, and longevity. The issues of plastics are probably not on their radar because there is a state ban on taking any action, which is unacceptable. We are here today to present the research we have conducted over the past 8 months of single-use plastics impacts on Florida. We have sent you our packet of research as well as this video in case you have more time to listen to what we have found out. But for today, we're going to hit the highlights for you. Hi, I am Taina Adam, and my section is on plastics impacts on Florida's tourism and economy. First, let's begin with tourism. Tourism is Florida's #1 economic driver. It provides Florida with over $100 billion annually and supports 1 in 6 jobs. However, plastic pollution is a drag on Florida's tourism economy, and here's why. Look at this image. Would you rather go on vacation to a beach that looks like this in Miami, Florida? Or a beach that is clean like this in the Bahamas, where single-use plastics are banned? I think we all would prefer to see dolphins at our beaches, not plastics. And NOAA study of tourist attitudes confirmed that tourists don't want to go to polluted beaches for their vacation spots either. In fact, based on their study, Florida's tourism economy would be 8.1% higher if plastic trash were eliminated from waterways and beaches. That is an extra $7 billion for Florida's tourism economy. However, if Florida plastic trash were doubled, Florida's tourism economy would be 16 to 26% lower, meaning we would lose $27 billion for Florida's economy annually. Which is why our neighbors Bahamas and Jamaica, who are also competitors in beach tourism, has banned single-use plastics to not only protect their environment, but also grow their economy in tourism.
Hello, my name is Crystal Barnes, and my section is on showing a visual of all the trash picked up on South Florida beaches.
This map here contains very popular tourist sites such as the Miami Beach Convention Center, Miami Seaquarium, Cape Florida Lighthouse, Jungle Island, Miami Children's Museum, the FTX Arena, and a few more. As you may notice, the different colored areas showed how much trash has been picked up. Yellow is under 500 pounds, orange is between 500 and 1,500 pounds, while the areas in red indicate the problem areas where over 1,500 pounds up to 8,000 pounds of trash has been picked up in the past 2 to 3 years in places like Bayfront Park. The plastic trash included over 8,000 plastic bottles, 21,000 bottle caps, 7,000 straws, and 2,400 plastic bags and wrappers. These areas were intertwined with the hotspots in Miami that bring us a lot of monetary value and beautiful landscapes that people come from all over the world to see. However, if tourists have to pass through the area or wade through this mess, if it wasn't for non-for-profits like Surfrider and Clean Miami Beach, it would hurt us and our pockets in the long run.
Hi, my name is Amanda DiPerna, and I'll be discussing the amount and proportion of plastic recycled in Florida. We used to believe that recycling was the solution to our plastic problem, but this is not the case. Florida only recycles about 8% of plastic. Imagine if out of every 12 water bottles, only 1 was recycled, while the rest were burned, releasing more harmful pollutants into the air, end up as litter, which poses threats to human health and the beauty of our state, or landfilled. What if your doctor told you that the medication they prescribed only had an 8% reduction of symptoms? I would ask, can't we do any better than that? Florida is the 3rd largest generator of plastic in the United States. It generates about 65 pounds of plastic per capita. Meanwhile, Florida ranks 34 in plastic recycling. It only recycles about 5 pounds of plastic per capita. Evidently, we are battling a German Shepherd-sized problem with a Chihuahua-sized solution, And although Chihuahuas are feisty, we all know who wins this fight.
Hello, my name is Naila Alcocer, and my section of the presentation will cover the failures of the international market in regards to our plastic waste problem. You have just heard that only 8% of plastic is recycled in Florida. Here's where the majority of that so-called recycled plastic ends up. We have been shipping the majority of our plastic waste to other less industrialized countries in Southeast Asia that are not equipped to process it at such high volumes. The image above shows two women manually sorting through the countless plastic bottles that surround them. In Vietnam, only 8 to 12% of plastic imports they receive are able to be recycled in a proper recycling plant. Very low recycling rates can be found across Southeast Asia. Due to adverse health and environmental impacts, these countries are beginning to refuse our plastic imports. The international market for our plastics is shutting down. China has already enacted a ban on plastic imports, and more are expected to follow suit. Vietnam has announced that by 2025, they will place a ban on plastic imports, and Malaysia is set to place a ban on plastic scrap imports by 2026. As you can see, the problem is only going to get worse. Now, where does that leave us? Florida, along with the rest of the nation, must find a way to process the entirety of the single-use plastic we produce. Due to Florida's ban on plastic-related bans, the burden of this waste will fall on cities and municipalities across the state. Not only will they be expected to formulate processing methods, they will also be expected to pay for them. Recycling is increasing in cost year after year, and it has clearly failed to solve our plastic waste problem. To prevent this waste from accumulating around us, we must restrict the distribution of unnecessary single-use plastic. This will be the most efficient and economical way to tackle this problem.
Hello, my name is Darlene Hea, and my sections of the presentation are on the cost of recycling plastic and the relationship between plastics and human health. Recycling costs have skyrocketed. The state says that there's been a 70% decrease in the value of recycled materials, proving that even if plastic gets recycled in Florida, we're earning only 30% of what we used to. Incineration and sending to landfill are considered recycling in Miami-Dade County. This is while Dade is paying out $8 million annually for failed recycling. The DEP itself is saying municipalities are struggling without state interference. Legislation got us into this problem, so legislation has to get us out of it. Pictured here is Andrew Otazo, who collects plastics in Virginia Key and other beaches. Virginia Key is a prime tourist destination because of its coral reefs, yet it is heavily polluted by plastics. According to NOAA, our South Florida reefs generate $8.5 billion annually, yet our money is going out the window because of the state's lack of initiative on plastic bans. If we lose our reefs to preventable pollution, we lose $8.5 billion a year. Babies are being born pre-polluted. Plastic trash in the water breaks down into microplastics that work their way up the food chain, winding up in human placentas. There's a disturbing likelihood the microplastics are inflicting the same harm on human fetuses as in marine organisms, where microplastics stunt growth, reduce energy reserves, and disrupt endocrine function. Some incineration plants release 14 times more mercury than coal plants. On top of microplastics hurting babies, pregnant women are having premature births more often when living in close proximity to coal plants. If plastic incineration is 14 times worse, then why don't we stop burning it? Studies show that there are immediate benefits to shutting down incineration plants, with preterm births sharply reduced. Microplastics are in our food. When plastic is digested, it releases estrogenic chemicals that harm human and wildlife health. The majority of our plastics end up as microplastics in our oceans, where the fish we eat consume them, effectively moving all of these toxic chemicals into ourselves when we eat fish. Microplastics are even present in our table salt, so they are inescapable. These same plastics are being studied due to the high chance of them being moved from the body of a mother to her child, passing through our families for generations in the future.
Hello, my name is Olivia Guthrie. For our research, I specifically looked into international countries and states within the US that are competition to Florida in our tourism and how they have decided to move away from plastics, implementing bans. Florida has many rivals for beach tourism, including big hitters such as the Bahamas and Jamaica internationally, and California and Hawaii domestically. All these places have implemented restrictions on plastics that have shown a boost to their economies through tourism. Within the US, there are 347 places, including cities and counties, that have all implemented some sort of limitation on plastics. California, our biggest competitor, has had a statewide ban since 2016. Hawaii has a de facto ban since 2014, and several other states have implemented large bans. 2/3 of the nations around the world have taxations or limitations on plastics. These countries are all of various income levels and development, but all realize the importance of this issue. In the Caribbean, waste management has been named a #1 issue, with 12 separate countries having measures restricting plastic usage. All more competition for us. The EU has a directive ban, eliminating all plastics with easy alternatives and making producers of plastics responsible for cleanup, data gathering, and public awareness. Jamaica has been able to eliminate plastics through 6 phases starting in 2019 and ending earlier this year. This was achieved through bipartisan support, as well as the support of the public and large corporations like the hotel industry. As a child of Jamaican parents, I have seen the issue and watched the problems be solved, fully backed by the Jamaican citizens. Plastic bags are now a thing of the past. So, what needs to be done? We come here asking for you all to take statewide action to restrict unnecessary distribution of single-use plastics for consumer goods, or lift the preemption so counties and municipalities can ban regionally. No one is taking action right now because they are scared of the possible legal repercussions, but the economy, beauty, and health of our state is at risk.